The rain was falling heavily the night Daniel realized the truth about his life. He stood outside his small apartment, staring at the eviction notice taped to the door. The paper was already soaked from the rain, but the words were still clear. Final notice. Daniel let out a slow breath and rubbed his tired eyes. At 32, his life looked nothing like the dreams he once had. His business had collapsed, his marriage had ended, and now he was about to lose the only place he had left. And strangely, every time something went wrong in his life, his mother was always somehow involved. At first, he never noticed it, because to Daniel, his mother, Mrs. Agnes, was everything. After his father died when he was 8, Agnes raised him alone. She worked 2 jobs, barely slept, and sacrificed everything to make sure Daniel never lacked anything. "Everything I do is for you," she always said, and Daniel believed her. He grew up worshipping his mother. To him, she was strong, loving, and protective. Maybe too protective. Even when he became an adult, Agnes never stopped controlling every aspect of his life. When Daniel was in university and wanted to study music, she refused. "Music will not feed you," she said firmly. "You will study business." Daniel obeyed. When he wanted to travel abroad after graduation, she cried for days. "So you want to abandon your mother after everything I did for you?" Daniel stayed. When he wanted to rent his own apartment at 26, Agnes insisted he continue living with her. "Why waste money? Stay here. I need you." Daniel stayed. To him, it was love. But slowly, that love began to suffocate him. Then came Clara. Clara walked into Daniel's life like sunshine after years of cloudy skies. She was kind, confident, and she believed in Daniel more than he believed in himself. For the first time in his life, Daniel felt like he was building something of his own. When Daniel told his mother he wanted to marry Clara, Agnes forced a smile, but something cold flashed in her eyes. "She seems nice," Agnes said slowly. From that moment, things began to change. At first, it was small things. Agnes would complain about Clara constantly. "She doesn't greet me properly. She's trying to take you away from me. She doesn't respect this family." Daniel tried to calm both sides. "Mom, Clara means well." "Clara, my mom is just protective." But Agnes's behavior grew worse. She would call Daniel 10 times a day whenever he spent time with Clara. She would suddenly fall sick anytime Daniel planned something with his fiancée. One night, Clara finally looked Daniel in the eyes and said something that made him uncomfortable. "Daniel, your mother is sabotaging our relationship." Daniel immediately defended Agnes. "My mother would never do that." Clara didn't argue, but she sighed softly. The wedding still happened. For a few months, Daniel believed everything would be fine. He was wrong. Agnes began visiting their home almost every day without notice. She criticized Clara's cooking. She rearranged the house. She whispered things to Daniel when Clara wasn't around. "Your wife doesn't respect you. She's wasting your money. She's trying to control you." The tension slowly poisoned their marriage. Arguments became frequent. One evening, Clara broke down crying. "I feel like I'm competing with your mother for my own husband." Daniel was angry. "You're exaggerating." Clara looked at him with tired eyes. "No, Daniel, you just refuse to see it." Months later, Clara packed her bags. "I love you," she said quietly, "but I can't live like this." The divorce came soon after. Agnes comforted Daniel. "You see, I told you she wasn't right for you." Daniel believed her, at least for a while. A year later, Daniel decided to start a small logistics company with his savings. It was the first decision he made completely on his own. Agnes didn't like it. "Business is risky," she warned. "You will lose everything." But Daniel insisted. For a few months, things were promising, until contracts suddenly began disappearing. Clients started backing out. Deals collapsed mysteriously. Within a year, the company was drowning in debt. Daniel couldn't understand what went wrong. Until one afternoon, he overheard a conversation that froze his blood. He had gone to visit his mother unexpectedly. As he approached her living room, he heard her voice on the phone. "Yes," Agnes said calmly, "I told you my son will not be continuing the contract." Daniel frowned. "Continuing the contract?" "I already explained to your manager that Daniel's company is unstable," she continued. "It's better you cancel now." Daniel felt his heart drop. He pushed the door open. "Mom?" Agnes turned, shocked. The phone slowly slipped from her hand. "Daniel." His voice trembled. "Why were you talking to my client?" Silence filled the room. Agnes tried to smile. "I was just helping you." "Helping me?" Daniel's voice rose. "You told them my business was unstable." His expression hardened slightly. "That company was too big for you. You would have failed." "You made sure I failed," Daniel shouted. For the first time in his life, Daniel saw something terrifying in his mother's eyes. Possession. "I did what was best," she said calmly. "You don't understand, Daniel. The world is dangerous." Daniel's chest tightened. "You destroyed my marriage." Agnes shook her head. "She was taking you away from me." "You destroyed my business." "That business would have changed you." Daniel stared at her in disbelief. "Why would you do this to your own son?" Agnes stepped closer, her voice soft. "Because I cannot lose you." Daniel felt something inside him break. "All these years," he whispered, "you were never protecting me." Tears filled his eyes. "You were controlling me." Agnes looked confused. "I sacrificed everything for you." "And you never allowed me to live," Daniel shouted. For the first time, Agnes looked uncertain. Daniel stepped back slowly. "My whole life, every dream, every opportunity." His voice cracked. "You destroyed them." Agnes reached for him. "Daniel." He moved away. "No." The room felt suffocating. "I finally understand why nothing in my life ever worked." Agnes's face paled. Daniel wiped his tears and looked at her one last time. "You didn't love me, Mom. You owned me." Then he walked out. That night, Daniel sat alone on a park bench as the rain poured down. His life was in pieces. His marriage was gone. His business was gone. His home was gone. But for the first time in his life, he was finally free. Sometimes, the most dangerous kind of love is the one that refuses to let you live your own life. And sometimes, the person who protects you the most is also the one who destroys you the most.